Hello to everybody. Hi. How's everybody doing out there? How is everybody doing out there? I hope everybody's doing good. Well, I am one of the staff members with Meditation for Me. One of the people that makes videos right along with everybody else. So, we are doing a tutorial for meditation for beginners. We've been getting lots of requests from subscribers and viewers about doing a beginner tutorial. And it was a hard decision to make because there is a lot of YouTube videos already out there about meditation and how to start doing meditation and things like that. You got some people out there that have videos that are like they do it in series, and then you have some that you do a whole 60-minute long video, and they just do it all in that 60-minute video, explaining everything, and I guess showing it all. But we just decided that we were just going to go ahead and do it, and then so we have a 3-part series. In this video, we are going to talk about seating and positioning, and we're going to talk about the environment to do meditation in, and also conditions, different type of conditions to do meditation in. We get a lot of questions that come in through the emails and things like that, and sometimes through chats, about just questions, and some of these questions are random, and all questions are good. There's never no wrong question. I always tell people it doesn't matter how silly you think the question is, or you don't want to ask it because you feel embarrassed. Don't ever feel embarrassed to ask questions. I don't care how silly it is. When I was going to college and talk to meditation teachers and Reiki energy healer teachers and things like that, they would always, I would be kind of like, I don't want to ask this question because I might sound foolish. And they all tell me, never ever think that you sound foolish or it's just a stupid question, because it's not. Believe me, there's tons of people out there in the world that might not be standing next to you at the time that might be thinking the same thing that you're thinking. So it's always good to ask questions, and it doesn't matter. So let's just get to it. One of the questions, so let's talk about seating and positioning. There is a lot of ways you can do meditation. You can lay down and do meditation. You can sit up, do meditation. You can cross your legs and do meditation. There's even walking meditations and standing meditations and things like that. Walking meditations, I kind of feel that they're kind of hard. I have tried some of those, and it's like I'm steady, I don't know, looking around, paying attention to something else, and I don't really pay attention to what they're saying in that meditation. So when it comes down to, meditation, and seating and positioning, I get the question, one of the questions from one of the viewers said that, they have back pain because they sit all day long. So do you really need to necessarily sit when you're doing meditation? Is it that important? And to answer that question, I always tell everybody it's up to your comfort level. No, it's not that important to sit. You do want to have a straight spine. You do want to have that. And that is, due to, certain type of meditations. They go over certain things like the alignment of your chakras and things like that. So, yeah, when you're doing a meditation, there are those meditations out there that tell you that you have to sit. The majority of the meditations out there will tell you that, sit, in a seated position with your feet on the floor and your back straight. And there's not that many that I have heard or listened to that it says it's okay to lay down. That's one thing I do notice, being a meditative type of person. I have listened to tons of meditations on YouTube, tons of meditations from my staff and other websites and things like that. And I do notice that most of the time they say, oh, sit down, sit down. And it's very rare that you'll find one that says lay down, unless you're doing one that has to do with falling asleep. That's the only time I really ever hear them say that it's okay to lay down in a guided meditation video. So to me, I feel like it's all about your comfort level. What you want to do. If it says sit down in a video, in a guided meditation video, and you want to lay down, go ahead and lay down. If your back hurts because you've been sitting all day, I get it. Totally. I get it. Just go ahead and lay down, because I know I do desk work sometimes, and your knees are bent all the time. So sometimes you don't want to sit on the couch with your feet firmly on the ground. Sometimes I sit on the ground and I'll, stretch my legs out straight and sit up straight and stretch my legs out straight. Sometimes, if my lower back is hurting, I'll just, take a break and just lay down and do the guided meditation laying down. Um, you know, just, do it that way. But the thing is with that, when you're laying down, you just got to make sure that you're not to the point to where you're tired and you're ready to fall asleep. Because if that's the case, then there's really no point of doing it, because you're just going to fall asleep and you're going to forget that you're even doing the meditation in the first place. So when it comes down to seating and positionings, legs crossed, I hear a lot of people say, do you have to cross your legs? Do you have to have your palms facing up? Do you have to have your palms facing down? What about this touching your finger, your thumb and your ring finger together? Do you have to do those type of positions with your finger in order to have a good meditation? And with all those, I took all those questions and put them together. But with all those type of questions, it is no, not really. It is based on your comfort level, like I said before. And it also is based on the type of meditation that you are doing. If you are doing a meditation to where you're trying to connect some energy, or you're trying to do some type of manifestation type of meditation, then yeah, follow the directions that they say and do it. But if you're just doing a meditation to where you're just trying to clear your mind, or you're just trying to relax, or you're just trying to bring some clarity to yourself or whatever, you don't necessarily need to do the hand signs. You don't necessarily need to sit cross-legged. You can sit how you want to sit at your comfort level, what you want to do. So I hope that answers some of those questions that are out there, because we did get a lot of questions about, the hand positionings and things like that. The hand positionings is just only for, whatever type of meditation you're trying to do. There are some meditations out there to where, yeah, connecting your thumb to your ring finger, is helping to connect that energy and that flow. Also to connect the mind to the universe and things like that. So it is, like I said, it is always up to your preference, what you want to do, what makes you feel comfortable. So the next question that we get is where to meditate at. I had one question that came in through, I think it was a chat, and she said that she wanted to know if it's okay to meditate in the car, because she's been seeing a lot of meditations that say, don't meditate in the car, or something like that, which I have seen those meditations too, but most of the time it pertains to do not operate a vehicle. So when you're, you can meditate in the car, you can meditate outside, you can meditate, at the park, you can meditate in a field, you can meditate. There's people that is even meditated like in their bathroom. Some people have even soaked and meditated in the bathtub. You can meditate pretty much basically anywhere. Just make sure that it is safe. That is like the number one thing, is your safety. You want to make sure that you're safe. When people post that in their videos saying, don't meditate in your car, it's basically pertaining to don't operate the vehicle. If you are, driving and you're trying to meditate, we can only imagine what can happen while you're doing that. It's not a great, situation. So if you want to meditate in your car, turn off your car. Sit back, move your seat back, turn off your radio and everything like that. Or if you have it on your radio, on your phone connected Bluetooth, then go ahead and do your meditation. But just make sure that your car is off. Meditating outside. I got one that said, how do you meditate outside when, there's a lot going on, a lot of noises and things like that. And that's another, one that you have to really sit there and take into consideration. Do you live in a noisy neighborhood? Is it quiet in your neighborhood? Do you have a backyard? Do you have just a patio? Are you living in an apartment or a condominium? It's just up to what you're doing, like what your preference is and where do you meditate. I have a backyard and I go out there and I meditate every once in a blue moon. And the reason why is because with state I'm in, we have 4 seasons and sometimes it gets cold. So you got to think about that, the conditions. Sometimes it gets cold, sometimes it's too hot. So you have to really think about that scenery, and when you're meditating, what do you want to accomplish? If you don't want to get, distracted from your meditation? What's going to distract you? What do you feel comfortable with? Those are the things that you have to think about when you are doing your meditation. I go outside, I meditate, but half of the time I don't like going out there because we have a lot of bees that are flying around, because people have plants and the lavender and all the different beautiful plants and stuff like that. So we have a lot of bees. I know if I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, I hear something buzz by my ear, I am going to get up and I'm going to run because I don't like bees. And so when I go outside and I meditate, it has to be either like under a canopy that has mosquito nets, something that will keep me from, the elements of the animals or the bugs, so I don't, get distracted. The same thing with going outside at night. There's a meditation group that I attended a while back, and they went outside at night and they meditated. I was fine for the first couple of nights. I did it and everything else. I put on the mosquito repellent. I did all that stuff, but still, I still felt like there was bugs crawling out. There was something. I turned around and looked down before we started meditating. I saw this big spider running across the sidewalk. And I could only imagine that spider was running across the sidewalk, but it can easily turn around and run into the grass where we're sitting on our yoga mats meditating. So it was like a big distraction. And I just was like, yeah, no, I can't do it outside at night. Under a mosquito net, it was a lot better under the mosquito net, but still, then again, there's bugs that go under the net. I was just thinking all kinds of things, which was distracting me, and I could not think, and I could not even calm myself down to even meditate. So, when it comes down to, in type of environments, I have meditated in the car. It's peaceful. If you're not on a busy street or if you're not by somewhere where there's a bunch of cars driving by, it's nice, it's peaceful. I have meditated soaking. Soaking is always great, and then you take your meditation music in there, but like I said, be safe. If you have a waterproof MP3 player speaker, okay, that's fine. But if you don't, make sure to put that stuff off to the side and always put like a washcloth or a towel or something under it to keep the grip of it so it doesn't slip and fall. So I don't never put anything at the edge of my tub, and I just tell people they shouldn't do either. My meditation teachers tell us the same thing. Don't never do something like that. Don't never put your phone or, iPads or anything at the edge of the tub because they could easily fall in. So, you just got to make sure that you're safe, meditating, in your bedroom in the dark. That's one thing that I heard a lot about too. A lot of questions like, is it okay to lay down and go in your bedroom and meditate? Or do you need to do it in the living room all the time? I prefer to do my meditations in the living room because when I go in my bedroom is like my peaceful, loving sanctuary that I love to just go in there and lay down on that bed, and I'll get so comfortable and I'm out like a light. And so when I go in there, the only type of meditation I do when I'm in my bedroom is if I have a hard time falling asleep, or if I'm doing some type of countdown meditation to count me down to calm my mind down because my mind is racing and thinking all kinds of thoughts. That's the only time that I really go in there and I'll do a meditation. Otherwise than that, I don't really meditate in my room. Now, some people feel comfortable and they don't fall asleep and they don't feel tired, and their bedroom is their everything, and they do everything in there. But my teachers has always told me to separate your bedroom from your meditation room, from your work room, from your workout room, whatever you do in your bedroom, business. Some people do their business in their bed with their bills and everything like that. Always separate that stuff because you don't want to have that energy from all that stuff always in your room, because sometimes that can distract your sleeping. It's just a whole big old other story that, you can go into with that whole entire, energy work and things like that. But that's why I don't meditate in my room. I do meditate in the living room. I do sit on the couch. If sometimes I'll sit in a chair, or either I'll sit on the floor. It just depends on how I'm feeling at the time. I also go in the kitchen, sometimes at the kitchen table, and I'll sit there and I'll just meditate, just put my hands on the table and just close my eyes for a minute and meditate when the kids are not around. And and also you got to find out a place to meditate that is, suitable for you too. Is if there's a lot of noise and a lot of things going on, like right now we have the waterfall that's running in the background, so you could probably hear that, and that's kind of soothing, so it wouldn't really bother me if I were to do a meditation right now. But if you have all kinds of noise going, the kids are screaming, you can hear TVs, stuff like that, you're not going to have a great meditation experience if you have that type of stuff going on. Just always make sure your space is quiet, or if it does have some type of noise, that it's not noise that is very distracting. It's more calming type of noise, like the waterfall, or either a fan blowing in the background. That's always soothing to me. Things like that. So when it comes down to meditation, beginning meditation, working on where do you want to meditate at, is a good start. What type of positions do you like to, do you like to sit up? Do you like to lay down? Do you like to cross your legs? Do you like to fold your hands in front of your chest? Do a prayer pose in front of your chest? Those are the type of things that you got to think about. And also what type of meditation that you're trying to accomplish. Like I said, there's different type of meditations out there. There's, meditations where you're trying to connect and ground yourself. There's meditations to where you're trying to, get, what would you say, connect with your inner self. Also connect with the universe. There is meditations out there, where you're trying to manifest things. You're trying to let go of the past and negative energies. There is just all types of meditations that is out there, that is just all over the place out there on the internet. People, there's meditation teachers, Reiki energy healer teachers, things like that. And so it's like, what type of meditation are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to accomplish just relaxation, clearing the mind? Just want to sit back and just, relax yourself? What type of meditation are you trying to accomplish? And once you, figure that out, or what you're trying to do, then you can figure out what type of scenery you want to meditate in. Where do you want to meditate at? The environment, the condition, and your seating and positioning. So those are the things that you want to think about when it comes down to meditation, for beginners. And I don't know, I think that's pretty much it that we can cover in this video. In the next two videos, we'll actually do some meditation, because that's going to be more about the breath work. And I think the last video that we're going to do is going to be more about trying to calm the mind down. I feel that these three things that we have talked about, pretty much the three big topics besides the subtopics, these are the best way to begin to meditate. And, the best way, to start meditating is just start by practicing. Practice makes perfect. You're not going to sit down right away and, jump on the floor and start meditating, and then your mind's going to quiet. You're going to know how to do everything, and everything's going to be great. That's just, it takes time. You have to give yourself time. You have to figure yourself out. You have to figure out your comfortable level, and you just have to figure out things. So give yourself some time and just sit back and enjoy, experiment with it, figure out where do you like to meditate most and what type, and if you can do that type of meditation, then you could do it. If you go outside, and you could do it, if it's not too hot, you're not going to have a heat stroke, or it's not too cold, you're not going to freeze, then, try it outside. It's just, it's up to, pretty much, like I said, your comfort level. But I hope that this answered some of our subscribers and viewers and other people's questions out there. If you have any more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. We'll be more than happy to answer them, and always answer anything else that you want to talk about when it comes down to meditation. All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this beginning tutorial. Look out for part 2 and part 3 of this tutorial, where we'll actually be getting into some meditation and getting into it. And I hope that everybody has a blessed day. Bye-bye.